6 years old when my mother left my sister and I in the care of our father. We were pushed from one family to the next, and it was in the home of someone that I trusted I was raped.
Ukangotaura chete ndokuraya nemhuri yako.
If you tell anyone, I will kill you and your family.
These words haunted my childhood. What could I have done? I was only a child. I was unaware of what it meant to be touched and violated. And that was just the beginning. We continued being moved around. And by the time I was 9 years old, I had been to at least 5 schools. And I hated it. I didn't have any friends. I was sad and alone. Then out of nowhere, my mother came back. And she was not alone. She was with a German man, Eugene, and they had fallen in love. For the first time, I was hopeful. My sister and I would finally have a home. So during the holidays, we traveled out of the city into different countries around Africa. We went to so many places, we met many people, and one particular place stood out. And that was a camp in Namibia. David Livingstone described this camp as the Garden of Eden. The only man-made structure that was there was a little mud hut that was in the center of the camp. We used to go for game drives. We saw impalas, zebras. I remember the canoe trips. My sister and I, we had to be so quiet. Any sound, and the hippos would come for us. We loved fishing. And at night, we sat around the fire, gazing at the sky, while we talked about our future and dreams. Then my mother fell sick, and she passed away. I was 14. I was sent to boarding school, and all I felt was abandonment, like nobody wanted me. My classmates bullied me, and I was angry. And on top of that, I had just reached puberty. I didn't understand all these changes that were happening to me, and I had no one to explain. So on the last day of my high school, I knew what I wanted to do. I wanted to go back to Namibia. So I called Eugene, only to find out he had died by suicide. We continued being moved around like nomads, and eventually we moved in with my grandparents. And within a year of that, my sister and I were kicked from his home. I will stand here today and tell you that was a blessing in disguise. So my sister and I, we rented out a cute little place of ours, and for the first time, we were home. We didn't have to worry about whose home we'd be going to next tomorrow. The challenge had ended. But I still battled with depression. So I sought help. And I joined an organization where I interacted with many people, with many young women and girls. And I found that 1 in 3 girls are sexually abused by the age of 18 in Zimbabwe. I was not alone. This is the story of many young women and girls who are facing similar challenges, but with nowhere to seek support or help from. So I was motivated to start my organization, and I named it Khanya Africa. Khanya means light. There are 3 ways in which I'm going to implement my intervention. Firstly, wilderness camps. But why camps? Research has repeatedly proven that nature can decrease the level of anxiety, depression, and stress. There's something about nature that brings about creativity, imagination, curiosity. I experienced it myself. Our camps will have 4 phases. The clouds. We will give an understanding of what society teaches us versus what reality is. The sun. We will embrace open conversations, sharing of experiences with no judgment, no prejudice. The rays. We want to put emphasis on confidence building, teamwork, being critical, questioning why things are the way they are. Then greenery. This represents growth. Growth within and outside of the camps. This is the phase where the girls will learn to implement all their learnings back into their society. This is the Khanya effect. Then secondly, we have creative hubs. We will have girls who come together here, and we use art as a medium of storytelling as well as healing. Here, girls will come together and share their experiences as well as find their interests. Then finally, there are many teenage mothers who are unable to further their education and have no financial stability. We will empower them to earn a living and be able to have a financial position in society. We aim to create a society that is open and supportive of young women and girls' mental and sexual health. It might surprise you to know that mental health challenges are very common for a lot of teenagers. Have you ever wondered why your daughter wears long sleeves all the time? No, it's not because it's hip, but because she has deep scars in her inner arms that relieve her from her inner pain. Do you remember that cough syrup that you got your daughter when she had a cold? She now uses it every week. It's the only drug she can get from across the counter. This bottle has become her only relief. This is how teenagers are coping with their pain. Don't do what you're thinking right now. No. They don't need to be controlled. All they need is a listening ear, an open mind, space for questions, love, and freedom to be themselves. Look at these flowers. The first flower, it was grown under natural soil, but with just enough attention, and it's blooming. The second flower, it was given a fancy pot, it had a fertile soil, it was even put in a desired location. But sadly, it's wilting. What does this tell us? Sometimes, all we need is just enough space to grow and just enough attention to know we're not alone. Thank you.